right, people, here's breakfast from the Hampton Inn Suites right here in Prattville, Alabama, just a little bit outside of Montgomery. We're going to fish Cooter Pond Park on the Alabama River. All right, y'all, we have arrived. We are at Cooter Pond Park. Big old boat ramp here. Let's check this thing out here. Lots of places to tie off to. Man, they got docks to tie off to way down there, man. They're set up better here than what we are in Tennessee. Check all this out. Yeah, but this is it. It's a big backwater bay that flows into the Alabama River. So let's get out here, see if we can catch some catfish here in Prattville, Alabama. All right, y'all, we're here. Let's make a game plan. Check out the maps here. See if we can't catch a catfish here on the Alabama River. What? You know what? I'll tell you what, it looks to me if we go that way, I can get right out to the main river. Let me see if I can get out that way. I don't know how shallow it is. Big bay right here. I believe the main river is just right over here through this little cutout thing here. Let's see if we don't bottom out. All right, y'all. I'm in 3.8 foot of water here coming through this thing, so we'll just see what happens. Boy, y'all, the first problem I have here is my Garmin Maps is not showing me anything as far as depth on the map side. Nothing. No graph at all. It's just showing blue. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's going to take it a while to load this new area or something. Let me see if I got it on my phone so I know what we're doing out here. I don't like that at all, not having a map. Come on, Garmin. Okay, y'all, good news. I do have it on my phone. Don't have it on my graph. I've got it on my phone. So that's good. Looks like we're pulling out to a river bend, and there's some holes right here where we're pulling out. Okay, I'm getting shallower again here. Slow down. All right, y'all, we made it to the main river. I have no idea what these catfish here are doing. They could be up in shallows, they could be in these holes. We don't know. We're gonna, since it's the morning bite here, I'm gonna start out fishing a hole. I'm going through it now. We're just gonna come through here and see if we can see anything on the graph. Okay, there's one fish right there, 34 foot, all by himself. There went something up the top of the water there. Okay, there's a fish down here in 47 foot. It's like a couple of them. Deep hole here, right outside the ramp. Well, all right, y'all, having technical difficulties this morning. Nothing's working on my low wrench. I unhooked it at the motel, and now it ain't working, so we'll figure that issue out here in a little bit. I'm going to drop some suspended baits. We're going to drop a couple suspended baits right here to start off with. While we still got a morning bite going on. Nice and breezy today. It is supposed to warm up quite a bit into the mid or upper 80s. There's a fish right there on my screen. All we got is skipjack, so I hope they're eating skipjack. My ice is about melted here. There we go. Chum them up a little bit here. I tell you what, if I keep this wind, I might throw an anchor line out or two. It doesn't look like we have any current that I can see, but if the wind will keep me straight, I will drop some out rods. On the bottom, get it up off the sinker up, and I'm gonna give it another turn. There we go. Bait down. First bait down on the Alabama River. Might as well drop a head piece while we're at it. All right, y'all. Like I say, I've got wind keeping my boat straight. I'm gonna throw an outline, maybe two. I'm gonna throw one with no float on it. Just straight on the bottom. Flatheads like it that way sometimes. I'm assuming there's flatheads in here. I'm assuming there's blue cats in here. You don't know until you throw. Let's throw one up towards the edge of this hole. I'm gonna put one on a float a little farther out into the hole, and we'll be fishing the Alabama River. There is life on my graph, so we'll find out if they like my bait or not. Go one this way. We are officially fishing the Alabama River. Yeah, nothing on my Garmin. Let me flip around over to these different maps. Dag-blasted Garmin. Charts. Try navigation. Nothing. It does not show the Alabama River. On my Garmin 9D3 SV blah 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 whatever it is. Nothing but blue, man. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, the fishing chart is showing it to me. Why didn't I have the fishing chart over with the other one? Okay, I've got something on the fishing chart. Navigation chart, nothing. So let's go to the fishing chart. And I'm gonna see if I can figure out what's wrong with this old low rant. Dag blast it. Oh, I see. The transducer wire has come loose. I hate these old plugs on this low rents. I hate them with a passion. All right, y'all, it's official. I now have maps and I now have my low rants working. Oh. It is 8 o'clock in the morning, so. Uh-oh, there's something on this. There's something on that, just slumped over with it. That looks like a flathead bite right there, buddy. There we go. And he lets go. No! That looked like a flathead bite for sure, man. Let's drop it back down. If they're aggressive, a lot of times they'll come back and get it. That definitely looked like a flathead. Well, it did not take long to get the first bite on a headpiece there. It's a good sign. Come back, fish. That was definitely a flathead doing that. Well, all right, y'all. It's been 20 minutes since we had that bite. I know that was a flathead. I do not expect great fishing. We are in high pressure bluebird skies, and the fishing was terrible back home. And I said, well, if it's terrible, I'm just gonna go on a road trip. But we still have the bluebird skies and high pressure. We're gonna keep pushing on. Let's see if we can't come up with some catfish here in the Alabama River. Chunking on out. There we go. There we go. We'll just let it sit out there. Float around. I'm gonna turn these graphs off for now. We're already set up. We don't need them. Maybe these fish are being finicky about the sonar or something. Which I don't think there's any bite with these bluebird skies, but there is a time of day where the bite will peak for the conditions. All right, y'all, that flathead may be back. He may be back. Now let's see if he's gonna eat it this time. Come on, man, eat it. Well, y'all, I wanted to reel down on that fish, but I'd done that before and we didn't get him. That old flathead, he tasted it again. I tried to just let him go ahead and eat it, you know, because I reeled down on him last time, that didn't do it. This time he just lets go of it. It is a very lethargic bite, you know. None of these other baits have been hit. Bluebird skies. We'll keep pressing on here on the Alabama River. Come on, fishy, fishy. Hey, finally. And he come off. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, I'll tell you what, y'all. We just ain't having no luck here on the Alabama River. 3 missed fish. You only get so long of a morning bite, and then kind of is gonna go a little dead as far as a sitting still bite. So I sure would like to hook a catfish here. If nothing else, if we can't catch them sitting still, we'll have to drag for blue cats. I'll keep pressing on as long as I figure it's prime time in the morning. And I could jump to some different spots, but there's fish on my screen. I've been bit So is the fishing going to be any better a mile up the river? I think it's these strange atmospherical conditions. At least we did get hit on a chunk that time. 2 bites on a head, 1 on a chunk. Well, y'all, I thought for sure we were going to catch that one. Well, all right, y'all. The only thing I know to do is move around a little bit. I'm going to move to a different section of this hole. I was seeing fish here, but let's move up a little bit. I'm hung up. Gosh, dang it. Yeah, we're hung up on that one. Yeah, you know, there's structure down here. There's fish down here. I've seen them on the graph. We've been bit here, but we're gonna have to move because this is not being productive. And it might take a minute to break that off. See if this bait's turned back into the hook or some reason why we're missing that fish. I don't think so, but yeah, it's hooked right. We'll wrap this around the boat cleat. Break off, I guess. So far, the Alabama River is being a tough one. There is no current in this thing at all. It's dead still water. They haven't had no rain in a while. That doesn't help, not having no flow in the river. Either way, we gotta fish the conditions we are dealt with. I'm just glad to have that tied back on. Fish are here. They're just not eating this skipjack. Two hours, can't catch a fish sitting still. I've got fish on my screen. They're not eating skipjack. They're just not eating, or they're not eating skipjack. So yeah, I'm gonna try drag this river. I don't know if it's draggable or not, but yeah, this is fruitless here. I may need to try catching some bluegills or something. Either way, let's try dragging this river. Maybe full of hang-ups for all I know. But the wind is getting to where my boat is just spinning around in a circle here, and we're not getting bit, so. I'm not leaving Alabama until I catch a catfish right here at Cooter Pond Park. I'd like to catch some catfish at Cooter Pond Park. There's some kind of fish come out of the water, all silver looking. I would at least like to get the skunk out of the boat here at Cooter Pond Park. There's a little bite on the green rod. Oh, what kind of bite was that? Did you see him thump it? I wonder if my bait's still on there. He's knocked the fire out of it. Come on, Cooter Pond Park. Oh, there's another one of them fast bites. I wonder if that's Striper doing that. I'll bet if I sped the boat up, I could get Striper. The reason I don't is I'm pulling that suspended bait. It's just gonna pick it way high in the water column. Let me try and pick my speed up a little bit. Look, is that a bite? I believe it was a bite. Man, nothing will grab the bait and actually grab it. Let me check this bait and make sure the hook wasn't turned. Another bite, no fish. How many shots do you get before you actually catch one around here? Man, we've had shot after shot after shot at getting the skunk out of the boat. And everything is just short striking. That acted more like a catfish there, banging at it. Wasn't quite as fast. Stop the boat. I wonder if this is a trot line. It's moving, whatever it is. Gosh dang it. What have we got? Ah. Man, this is wearing me out. I just popped it loose. I bet that was a trot line or something, I don't know. Try this again. Having all kind of trouble here at old Cooter Pond Park. Well, all right, y'all. We're dragging shallower now, 32 feet. And it looks like it's just gonna keep getting a little more shallower. All the way to 20 something, I don't care. I just wanna catch catfish. We never actually hooked up in 50 foot, so we'll keep pushing on. I wanna catch a catfish in Cooter Pond Park. Man, it's getting hot, y'all. The wind has stopped and the sun is getting hot. Woo-wee, that Alabama heat. Yeah, this shallower stuff's a little rougher to drag. If it's rocks, you can pull off of them. You know what I mean? You can bounce them up, but okay, that was a rock and I bounced it up, so. We'll press on. Now this one here is getting backed up about the same spot. It's a little rough up in here. Back it off. Now see, that feels like a line. That's a line of some kind. I got a line of some kind. I think there's trot lines in here. See how it's moving? Same thing we had on the last one. Old trot lines. See how it's coming across here? That's trot lines. When you're getting them all three, when all three rods get them, yeah, that's trot lines. Okay. Let's stop right here, and I'm gonna try to pull this trot line up. Stop right here. I'm gonna try to get it this time. Nothing marked. Let's go get this trot line. We're getting close to seeing this one. There it is, trot line, going all the way across the river. Okay. This one is marked. I see a tag over there. So since it's marked, I won't cut it. I see it. There it goes, it came loose. Yeah, that was an orange trot line. Sure was. But it's marked, so I won't cut it to pieces. We'll stay off of this area right here. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go back into this back creek. I'm gonna drag it for just a minute, and then we're gonna change game plans. I'm gonna go up to the truck, and I'm gonna try to get a hold of some bluegills. There's fish here. I was marking them down there. They don't seem to want this skipjack too much, so we'll drag this back creek a little bit, and yeah, we're gonna call it for the time being, and I'm gonna catch some bluegills. I'm not leaving Alabama until I catch catfish here at Cooter Pond Park. All right, y'all, I gotta be careful coming into this thing. It gets real shallow here. 8 foot. I hope my maps is right here. This is some shallow stuff. All right, y'all, we're gonna drag this a little bit before we do some bluegill fishing. I'm gonna put my hat up over this microphone thing here so it don't get too hot, block the sun. Yeah, this is like 8 foot of water here, and it looks like about 15 foot or so in the back of this thing, so let's try it. I'm seeing what looks like a lot of bait up in here. I'm gonna turn my side scan on. If I see any big gizzard or something, I will go back to the truck and get a net too. Anything but the skipjack. I don't think the skipjack is where it's at. Either way, I'm gonna put all fresh on. We'll hit this big Cooter pond. Hopefully this isn't full of crappie fishermen's Christmas trees and that sort of stuff. They like to throw that stuff out in these places. All right, y'all, we are officially dragging this shallow water back here in the old Cooter pond. When we get to the end over here, it'll be around 15 foot. We're in about 8 now. Just try it. I gotta go back to the truck, get a fan. I got to go back to the truck, get a fan for this camera, possibly an umbrella for the camera. I got to get some stuff to catch bluegills with, because I believe that's what's killing us. Because I've marked fish, I've been bit by fish, and I believe it's the bait. I have seen weird days where they will not hardly eat skipjack, so. Don't you get hung up out there, come on. Go ahead and get to the left a little more here before we get all hung up. Look, a bite! That was definitely a dink catfish. Oh shoot, I got all kind of stumps and stuff sticking up over here. That is not on my maps. I better be careful in here. I mean, there's stuff sticking way up out of the water back here. Yeah, we got some standing timber up there. You don't know what's back here. I wouldn't run a boat back here fast. Man, we've had one bite all the way back here. Here again, I think it's the skipjack. Yeah, there's high pressure. bluebird skies. Not much flow, but still, I think it's the bait is our biggest foe. After I get done back here, I'm going to get me some stuff to catch bluegills. And we're going to try to catch catfish here at Cooter Pond Park. I'm hung up right there. If I hung up, we're going to stop it right here. I'm hung up right there. Sure am. There's a lot of stumps in here. All right. I give up on this one channel cat bite back in here. It's time to catch some bluegills, y'all. See if we can catch them on bluegills. There's a dang gar or something right there. I ought to catch that sucker. If he'd swim close to the boat, I'd grab my net and get him. Anything but a skipjack right now. This right here would be a real good spot about December. Well, all right, y'all. I can't get it right today. I went to the truck, got me a bluegill rod, and I got me some water and some Triscuits. But what I wanted to get was this live tank. This little, I forgot what you call it, it's about that big, got the bubble box in it. So I wanted to keep some of the bluegills alive. I forgot to bring it. Heat, being thirsty, being frustrated, either way. I got me a worm on a hook. I got the fan for my camera, the umbrella for my camera. I'm burning up out here. And we are gonna try to catch some bluegills, at least for dragging, because they're not wanting skipjack at all. You know what I mean? Got a bite there, but he was just a little bitty one. Yeah, they're not wanting the skipjack at all. I was on fish. I could see the fish on my screen. They just didn't want that skipjack. It's one of those days. High pressure bluebird skies. There's a brush pile right here, and I'm trying to get close as I can to it, and it's kind of in the shade. If I can get right close to it in the shade, we might can get some bluegills, maybe. They may be tough too. We may have to let it soak a while. That may have been the only bluegill under there. Let me give it another toss. Pretty pathetic. Of course, bluebird skies. Oh, I about got in the tree. Woo! I landed in that southern moss or whatever that stuff is. Oh, I got a bite, I got a bite. You gonna eat it, you gonna eat it, you gonna eat it. And he just wasn't big enough. There's some right up under them tree branches there. Spanish moss is what they call that stuff hanging. I used to see that down in Florida. I ain't seen that since I've been out of Florida. There's a bite. Please be a bigger one. He's on. He ain't big, but he's on. You gotta be kidding me. No. No, that's not a bait. Old Cooter Pond Park. It's a little rough on the fishing department here, looks like. There's a bite. If you can ever get these bluegills' attention, you can get them into like a feeding frenzy for a slight bit. And then hopefully that will attract some bigger ones to come along. So far it's just a lot of little bitty ones under there. Surely his big bro. Oh, I'm in the tree. I'm in the tree. I'm in it. Gosh dang it. That means I got to drive over it. There it goes. Gosh dang it. They're not out in the sun at all. I mean, they are right under them leaves. They can't take the heat either. I don't blame them. Gosh dang it. Yeah, if you throw it 4 foot in front of that tree, they won't come out to get it. They're right under it. I know they see it. There has to be somewhere around here that has a decent bluegill. There's a bite. And he's on, he's on, he's on. He's a little thing and we're keeping him. Sorry. That's all we're gonna get, your bait. Yep, this is like Fort Loudon here, these bluegills. Sure is, but it's not skipjack, so I've got a little more faith in it. They are not eating skipjack today at all. So if you get it right up under that tree, you'll get bites. If you throw it a foot away from the tree, they won't touch it. He might be on there. He is on there. He's just so small that you don't know he's on there. I mean, that's pathetic right there. Come on, man. Come on, Cooter Pond Park. That's pathetic. That is just pathetic. Where's your big brothers at? They might not get big. The one I got in the cooler might be his big brother. That worm has been gutted pretty good. They might not want it now, so I'll let it soak a second. But well, let's get a fresh worm out. They don't want this one after it's been gutted. Should have brought more worms. Well, y'all, I've been out at Cooter Pond Park now about 6 hours and have yet put the first catfish in the boat. Couple small bluegill. That's all we've come up with so far. And even they're not easy. See there? You get it right under the tree with a fresh worm. They ain't big though, but we're gonna have to use them because I can't get big here. It's like these Fort Loudon bluegill are here. In the cooler you go. It is what it is. It's better than skipjack. I mean, we're not near any bank fishing areas where they can catch the big ones out, you know what I mean? No reason we shouldn't be able to pull a decent bluegill out of here. I could see if we were at some public dock where they keep them wiped out, but we're back here in no man's land and can't get a bluegill bigger than about 3 inches. I believe that worm's already gutted and now they won't touch it because they're in a foul mood because it's high pressure. We'll make one more throw with it and we'll change it out again. Uh-oh, I may have a bite there. The bobber moved, didn't go under, but it moved. Yeah, I do have one on there. Get over that tree. Another pathetic bluegill, but hey, that's what's eating. That's what's eating. Okay, there we go. We might have a better one, maybe. Maybe, nope. I don't care, you're bait. That's all it's gonna bite, that's what's bait. Beggars cannot be choosy. Well, y'all, I done hung my gosh dang bobber up. So let's go over there and get it. Gosh dang it. There is timber in here. I'm gonna have to break that off. I can see it now. I can see it now. Did I get it back? Let's get out of this spot, y'all. There has to be a real bluegill here somewhere. I'm gonna try right here by the boat ramp. It can't be no worse. Can't be no worse. Matter of fact, I broke my hook. Gosh dang it. Broke my cheap hook on that dag blasted branch. So let's put that up for now. Let's hope I brought some. Better be a small hook for these. See if there's any bluegill around this shade of this dock right here. Come on, bluegill. I think I see one. I do see one. They're right up under that dock. There's two of them. Let's see if they go investigate that worm. I did see them. They don't appear to be no bigger, but they were there. So let me get a little closer to the dock. There you go, just up under the dock. See if that does any better. There was two of them. Gosh dang it. Talk about some non-biting fish, boy. Gosh dang, this is shallow right here. Fixing to bottom my motor out. 1.6 feet. 1.4 feet. Here's another possible spot up here in the shade. Even got one of those blue herons hanging out there. He knows something. 5 foot, so it's fairly decent depth. Cool. Hit the spot lock. Of course, the boat's going to swing the opposite way of what I want it to swing. Let me throw up in this grass up here. No, get out of that. Get up out of that. Get out of that. Get out of that. Get out. Get out. Get out. Thank you. There we go. There's something in the grass. Something in the grass, little bitty one. Your bait too. That's all they got in this lake, y'all. Little bitty old things. I'll throw up in the grass again. There he goes. Yeah, they're up in that green stuff. They're all the same size, but they're in the green stuff. Can't get a decent bluegill here. They just don't make them here. These are worse than Fort Loudon. I got one out of the green. These out of the green are kind of stupid. They'll hit a bad worm, but I think they're even running smaller. That one, I'll just let him go. I'll let him go. All right, y'all, I've seen enough of this. Let's go throw some of these things on a gosh dang hook. I'd settle for a channel catfish right now, as bad as today's been. Let's get up on out of here. See what we can get on these things. All right, y'all, we're gonna start here with these bluegills and just work our way upriver. It'll get shallower as we go, but you know, we're gonna cover. That looks like a fish right there in 28 foot. I wonder if I should do something with these bluegills, like maybe fillet one side or something. Maybe dress them up a little bit. Let's try cutting a little fillet off one side, just to get some meat coming out. Bluegills, bluegills, bluegills. Bluegills, bluegills, bluegills. I got one whole, and I'm gonna cut this one some fillet off him too. Make him give some scent out there. This seemed fairly draggable until we hit the trot lines, and I know about where those are at. So I'm gonna throw another one on. With the cut bait, just in case maybe the bite was dead and now it's changed. I don't know, you know. Tell you what, y'all, your ice melts fast in Alabama. Ain't no doubt about it. I'm gonna put a chunk on this just in case something's changed. One skipjack chunk out. Now watch me catch something on the skipjack after all that work. No flow, no breeze anymore. It started out nice. Bluebird skies, high pressure. Man, there's got to be some gosh dang fish in here. Guy's running a trot line. They have to be here. He's baiting it with something. These gosh dang fish have got to eat. They've got to eat. They can't just go and not eat. I don't care how bad the bite is. They got to eat sometime. They ain't going to starve because of the color of the sky. Y'all, I was acclimating to that Tennessee fall weather, and man, it's just like summer hot, and I ain't used to it. There's a fish on the bottom, 36 feet right there. That's catfish. There's another fish on the screen. They just don't eat here. They don't eat other fish here, I guess. I don't know what they eat. Well, we ain't getting near a nibble. We started out at that mouth of that inlet over there. We've been 500 yards, ain't got hardly nothing. I may have had one little peck on that middle rod, may have. Of course, that it might have been jumping a rock, I don't know. This ain't good. I ain't never seen a bite like this. It was easier to catch catfish in Lake Allatoona, Georgia than what it is right here, I can tell you that. This is ridiculous. Not even a channel cat? Surely those exist here. Maybe I could go and just accidentally foul hook one. Anything, just get the skunk out of the boat, you know? Gosh, dang. Did I get a bite? Did I just get a bite on skipjack? You gotta be kidding me. I believe that was a bite on that skipjack. You gotta be kidding me. What in the world? Scared the crap out of me. I think it was a big old gar. Y'all, look at those skies, man. That is the definition of bluebird skies. My gosh. It's depressing looking, really. Because you know when you see that, you ain't gonna catch no fat cat. Some plane leaving a trail up there, and that's about it. Maybe I can get one of them chemtrails and the fish will start biting. This is pathetic. Big school of bait. Down there in 40 foot. Woo! That's on the skipjack. Did he hook up? He hooked up. And it's on the skipjack. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. All that work to catch bluegill and I catch a fish on the gosh dang skipjack. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Look at this. All that work to catch them bluegills. What is it? It is a blue catfish. Very small blue cat, watch bar size. Are you hooked good? I can't risk losing you, my gosh. Look at there. Blue catfish on the gosh dang skipjack. After all that trouble to catch them bluegills. I think that's the second bite we had on that skipjack too. I believe I seen it got hit one other time. You gotta be kidding, man. Well, there it is. Blue catfish, Alabama River. That's one of the hardest blue catfish I've ever caught in my life. On the skipjack of all things. Well, we done it. We caught a catfish here at Cooter's Pond Park. Well, y'all, I got these trot lines up here, so we're gonna fish a little longer, but I'm gonna go to a different area, either up or down, because I know we're getting real close to those lines. Yep, there's a trot line right there. There, I see the tag right there. There's the trot line, we got it. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the boat. There she is. Come on. Oh shoot, I dropped my weight. Let's go upriver, y'all. We're gonna put more skipjack on the hook. Y'all, there is limb lines and tags for these trot lines all the way up here. These guys are running lines that far, that many of them. There's another hole right in here. I'm gonna try to, I see a tag right there, and I've seen a bunch of limb lines down, so we're gonna hope for the best. All right, y'all, we'll give it another go. I can't stay too late because I've got an Airbnb about 35 miles down the road that I've got to check into, and I got to find it. So, and they say it's not easy to find, so I wanted to fish this place just because it was called Cooter's Pond Park. Oh, look, look, look. We got a bite on the skipjack. Hey, that was exciting. Oh, 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 I thought we was gonna get one. We did get another one. Yay! 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 Never been so excited to hook up into a fish as fishing this place right here, boy. Woo! I don't care if it's a channel cat. We'll take it. See what it is here. I had him riding the ledge up there. We got these others going through a hole. I think it's another little blue cat. Old spinner. Yeah, it's a little big little blue cat. Is it? No, that is a channel cat. Okay, we did get a channel cat. Just more silver colored than ours back home. Ours are more brownish or greenish. This is a silver colored. Hooked you right through the top of the noggin, didn't it? Yeah, you'll remember I was here. There we go. Old channel cat. Woo! I'm happy about that. We'll take anything over here at Cooter Pond Park. Well, all right, y'all. All these lakes and rivers and places, they got their names, you know, hundreds of years ago, back when the first settlers came in, back when Christopher Columbus came over here in the Mayflower. After that, you had a lot of people come over from Europe, England, places like that. Well, a lot of places in the world, these people would run their sewage right into the rivers, you know. They'd crap in the same rivers that they would bathe in, that they would use for cooking. Well, the Europeans, the English, they were different, you know. They never were into that sort of thing. So back then, you know, they didn't have bathtubs and showers, so they had to do their bathing and all that stuff in the rivers. So, in the old days, that Cooter Pond was slightly separated from the main river. They used this river for their drinking water or to irrigate their crops, but since that one over there was slightly separated back in those days,
the women used to go down there and wash their cooter. That's how it got the name Cooter Pond Park. Later on, there was a big earthquake in the 1800s. That changed the landscape a little bit, and now they're all connected, so, which is okay, because by that time, people had started getting plumbing and houses and stuff like that. So they didn't need it no more. Either way, there's a little history lesson for you on Cooter Pond Park. Oh, yay, we had a bite. Woo! Happy about that. Oh, and he come off, shoot. Good hard bite and he come off. That's heartbreaking in this place, because you don't get much of that. Woo! He bit the bottom right out of it. Didn't have the hook. Oh, yeah! We got one on the headpiece. We got one on the headpiece. Woo! All right. We caught another catfish at Cooter Pond Park. Yeah. On skipjack. Woo! Come on in here. Yeah, buddy. Another blue catfish. Yeah, he got his mouth full there. Boy, I'm happy to see a blue catfish around here. Oh. Yeah, boy. On the headpiece. All right, y'all. We got 4 things going against us today. Between the post spawn and the fall bite, just this transition period that's usually pretty dead. Then we have no flow in the river. Hasn't rained in a long time. This thing ain't pumping at all. Then you add the high pressure, bluebird skies. It was tough out here. I'm glad I came. Got to see some different scenery, different part of the country, but I'll probably never come here again. Either way, this is a video. There was some fish in the video. That makes the fishing video. This is Catfish Dave with another one, signing out.